everybody, Chef Britt here with atbbq.com, and today we're making lengua tacos. All right, so for those of you who aren't familiar with lengua, it's beef tongue, and we're gonna keep it really simple today, and we're gonna braise it in the Instant Pot, and then we'll finish it out on the YS640 pellet smoker just to get it nice and crispy and charred for a taco. We're also gonna make a beautiful, super simple charred salsa verde. So our braise starts with this Sweetwater Spice brisket bath brine. Now typically we're using this to brine our meats and then smoke them later, but today we're going to use it as a braise, and it has all the wonderful flavors you need. Cumin, garlic, got some tamarind, sweet, spice, salty. And we're going to add about a half a cup to 1.5 cups of water, and then we're just going to mix it up. So this is about a 4-to-1 ratio. It's a pretty powerful mix. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it here. So it's a pretty powerful little brine, but there's gonna be a lot of naturally occurring water in the tongue itself, and so that's gonna add to our brine. We just want to make sure it's not too salty so we don't have an oversalted product in the end. So feel free to add more water as you see necessary. And this is why we taste our brine, just to make sure. So we've got 2 cups of our braising liquid. So let's talk about the tongue for a second. It's got this outer membrane on the top of the tongue that after we cook we will remove because it's just an inedible piece of the meat. There's also this underside that you can trim off of these sort of cartilagey bits that will never really break down, but they're packed full of flavor, so we're going to keep them in the braise for now. So we're just going to throw this directly into our braise, and we'll top it with 1 onion, just roughly chopped up here, for a little more flavor. All right, to set this, we're gonna give about 20 minutes per pound, and this is about a 3.5 pound piece of meat. So we're going to set it for about 1 hour and 10 minutes on just a standard meat stew setting. So just make sure that you're set to seal, that way all of that pressure gets trapped in there. All right, so while that is braising, we're gonna go ahead and get our charred tomatillo salsa verde ready. It's just gonna be a high heat, direct sear on the Yoder Smoker 640. Let's get it started. So we're just gonna prep our tomatillos, get all this paper off. Oh, that's really sticking today. I need to run these through some water. And then I've got a white onion that I am going to just get that outer husk off of, but we're gonna keep it pretty whole. I think I'll quarter them for the grill. And of course we've got some poblanos, which we'll char off with the rest of the vegetables, but they will go underneath a little steam process, and we'll de-seed them and slice them up before we throw them in with the rest of the salsa. So we've got the 640S set up for direct grilling today, which means that we've got the diffuser plate in place, but we have the door open. We've got the temp set at 500 just so it's constantly feeding pellets. We're gonna just char off these vegetables. So we're just looking to get some nice char marks here. We don't need to get them blackened all over, but just get enough extra flavor on there. All right, so I like how much char I've got on here now, so I'm gonna just put all this together in my blender right off the grill. And in the meantime, we're gonna get the poblanos on here And we'll need those to be completely charred and black before we move on to the next step with those. All right, it looks like we've got about all the char we need on these, so I'm gonna get them pulled, and then we'll wrap them up and just let them steam. We'll let those rest and steam for about 10 minutes before we peel the skin off. So to remove the skins, I've just got a gloved hand, and I'm just gonna come through and rub it off of the flesh. And then we'll just give it some rough slices before we add them into our salsa. All right, I'm also going to just come through and remove those woody ends of the onions. So we've got our onions, poblanos, and tomatillos. Next, we're going to add 1 cup of some Sweetwater Spice fajita bath. This has got great acidity with lime juice, pineapple juice, also just great Mexican spices like Mexican oregano, cumin, garlic, onion. So this is all going to play well and give us a very unique but delicious salsa verde. Nice and simple. I'm going to go a little further. All right, let's give it a taste. Spicy. It's got great acidity. Ooh, it's got that smoky edge from all the charring, and it's very bright. It's going to be perfect with our tacos. All right, so now that the hour and 10 minutes has elapsed, we're going to give it a 10-minute natural release, which just means we're going to let it go for another 10 minutes on the keep warm setting before we release all of the steam inside. In the meantime, I'm just going to be prepping some garnishes, just some minced white onion and cilantro. All right, let's release the steam. Let's see what happened. So you see the skin has turned white. Let's pull it out here. It smells really wonderful right now, and I can see we've got a beautiful color coming from the ancho and chipotle chilies in that braise, but now we need to clean this up and get it ready to put in a taco. So this should be as easy as just pulling it off. We're going to try our best not to lose too much meat here, but it's definitely very tender, so it's going to want to shred a little bit, but we'll just be careful. All right. And if you need to just get a knife under there just to help release it, then that's what we'll have to do. So we're just looking to get rid of that outer membrane. So this part right here just held off of the skin a little bit better. And this is perfectly edible too, but you can really see how the meat cooked under the surface. So right here is a big globular piece of fat with a thick piece of cartilage running through it. So we're going to just start by trimming that off. There's tons of wonderful flavor in this meat. I know it can be a little intimidating if it's new to you, but the payoff is flavor. Okay, next we're just going to chop this up so it's more manageable and we can get it into little bite-sized pieces for our taco. You know, Lengua used to be one of those cuts that was kind of the poor man's brisket per se, but as time has gone on and it's become increasingly popular, it's about the same price as brisket these days, so. And I can definitely see why. So when you're slicing this up, you might just keep an eye out for some of these cartilagey bits that are on the inside of the tongue, and you can just pull those pieces out as you're trimming and chopping it up. All right, so from here, you can go a few different ways. You can eat it straight, and it's super delicious and flavorful. You can save it for another time, and you can keep it in that broth that you've created. Or what we're doing today, heading out to the grill and putting a little char on it. Today, I'm just going to use a little bit of this Cattleman's Grill Mexicano seasoning. Wonderful paprika, cumin, spices, but just a little bit goes a long way, especially after we've already seasoned up our meat. So our meat is well seasoned. We're rolling on 400 degrees. We've got the trap door open on the diffuser plate with the cast iron griddle over the top. So we're just going to sear up our meat and then warm our tortillas and build our tacos. We're working with these amazing limited edition red tortillas from Pinole Blue. I'll feature a link in the description for you guys if you want to check out any of their products. They're a tortilleria located here in Wichita, Kansas, and they do amazing stuff. Crisping up beautifully. Let's build a taco. We'll get a little of that salsa verde on there. A good helping of onions. And of course cilantro. Beautiful. Let's take a bite. Wow. So much flavor going on here, guys. It's beautiful. The meat's really tender. I'm getting a ton of great acidity out of that salsa verde. Man, I'm pumped. So I really did want to make this recipe super easy for you guys. So if you've never had lengua before, this is the recipe to try. Super simple, using the Instant Pot to just do all of the heavy lifting and then just getting all of that extra flavor off of the grill. Well, thanks for joining me today while we made these super awesome tacos. If you guys want to check out more recipes, tips, and techniques, head on over to atbbq.com/thesauce. And if you want to see all of the cool products and flavors that we used, head on over to atbbq.com. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.